week at season 2, episode 2, right?
Episode 2, boys basketball, Nelson Wilson. What we got with you here today, Coach?
We have Haggai Lukabung and we have Adam Hamilton.
Both seniors?
Two seniors, yep.
So we're got how many games under the belt? 2 games?
We have 2
so
games
far?
on our belt, yep.
Close one, what,
So-
North and then
Oakland Craig.
Oakland
Both
Craig.
close games.
Yeah. They're both, we go back and we talk about, things after the game and then, the next day in practice, like, both of those games were gettable. But we, as a coaching staff, as a program, we talk a lot about, we've got a good group of seniors this year, but when you talk about playing experience, like we're young, we're very young,
Let's face it here, not to barge in, but what are we missing? Roughly 90% of your scoring from last year?
Yeah, so 50.
Another 90% of your rebounding?
4 graduated, 1 transferred away. So,
Right.
yeah, you are. But I know you played, Adam, you played a lot last year. Haggai, I knew you played. So, but it was all in, definitely lost
Goes
a lot.
back to varsity time. Varsity minute, yeah.
We lost 50 points between 2 guys.
Yeah.
And we knew that coming in. You're just not going to replace that, right?
Right.
So the first 2 games were definitely gettable. We know as a program, and these guys know as seniors that we let some things get away from us. Like we left a ton of points on the floor.
I think there that North watching there. I think at
Free
one point,
throws.
they were up free
Free
throws, but
throws.
they were up by like 17. Back in the 4th quarter, you brought it back to 6. The fight's there. There's a lot of good potential. It wasn't just like, oh, they got up, we don't have a chance. There was the fight, and it was just like, I think honestly, free throws, a couple layups, and those free
Well,
throws.
you can't fault the hustle, and also, but it goes back to what he says, those guys don't have a lot of minutes together.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
So you make in-game mistakes, but you might have a guy who throws it away, but then he turns around and he busts his butt and gets a steal. So you can live with that.
Definitely the hustle.
Well,
Right. See the try to there.
just playing 180 miles an hour. And so if you're going to make that mistake, like make it at 180 miles an hour, and you're going to hustle to get back, like, we're pretty fortunate to have the seniors that we have. Like, we've got a really good group of seniors that they work hard. They're leading the program. It's a little different for me because of the last couple of years we were senior heavy too, but it was more along the skill stuff. And so, there's times when like the coaches still had to lead, those last 2 groups too. Pretty fortunate this year. Like we've got some seniors that are really, really vocal. They've stepped up and, we've had conversations about like, where they want the program to go. There's things that we deal with within the program that normally like us coaches would deal with. But we've got seniors come in and saying, hey, coach, we think this is how you have to handle it. So
Kind of like a leadership council.
absolutely.
Like it's a self-policing team. And that's
Absolutely.
awesome because you have these guys, and then hopefully that maybe might start a new tradition where, that's an awesome thing that if you can have a team self-police,
Yeah.
those kind of administrative errors and things like that, where that's awesome, and accountability and showing up, and good for that's awesome for you to have that.
Yeah, so, but I can't, we'll let these guys speak, but I can't talk enough about the senior group that I have this year.
So you have Hawkeye, you have Adam, and then
And
Goy, she's Goy,
Alex.
And then we have Alex, then we have Derek,
Okay.
and then we have
Derek.
James.
Okay, so you do have.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have quite a few.
So then I guess as players then, what are your goals, I guess, as a team? Not so much individually, and where do you see, what have you seen so far as, practice translating maybe to, a different outcome in a game? What are you personally seeing as players that can change the outcome?
I will say discipline is one when we lack discipline in practice often.
Right.
I'll say like the simple things like running fundamentals, passing the ball, cutting, jump stops to make smart shots.
Right. Seems easy, right?
Yeah.
It's like you always forget them.
But then, like you said, the 180 miles an hour that you're going in a game, sometimes if you're not doing the 180 miles an hour in practice, it doesn't translate. And when you said that in the passing, and some of them was just like, oh, the cut was there, and it was just like, a second too late, like they're seeing it, but they're not at that game speed. But that was also North, that was game one, and to gain those varsity experience and things. So hey, they're doing the right things. It just isn't quite translated perfectly to that game scenario.
Right. Absolutely.
But yeah, definitely, that's great that you see that. So
Discipline's a good one, especially for one of the players to say it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. No, so how about you, Hawkeye?
I'd say like everybody's just coming to practice, like more on defense side,
Yeah,
pushing each other. Gotta see more of that.
yeah.
And
You're not a very tall team, so defense will probably be key for you guys, I would agree.
And that's-
So you push that anyway.
And that's one thing I think, maybe you're not being a basketball player, but the skill side, I mean, your defense and the hustle and that effort, some of that can't be taught or practiced, it's just what you put in and what you do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and so maybe, hey, if you can keep some of these scores close, keep them down and close, I mean, that's gonna keep, if you're within 10 in the fourth, you got a shot, right?
Well, and that's something that we continue to talk about with these guys, and we talk about it every practice, and that is, like, we have to give ourselves a shot. Like,
Mhm.
keep it close, we have to give ourselves a shot, right? I have a lot of confidence in these guys, hoping they have a lot of confidence in me, but I've told them, like, and I'll continue to preach to them about, like, if you guys work to make sure that we have a shot in the end, I won't, like, it will be good for us.
Good.
Right, and it doesn't mean that we're gonna win every game. But if you guys, through what you guys do during the course of a game, if you can put us in a situation at the end of the game, like, I like our chances.
Those games are fun. You want to be in those
Yeah,
games.
I mean, it's
those
like-
are the games, the reason why you play the game.
The hard losses lead to the better wins, and
Right.
they're the bitter losses to the better wins, and and you grow a lot. So, hey, so one thing I know that's different this year, shot clock. What do you guys think? I mean, is that something you've gotten used to, or I mean, I haven't.
It's tough, isn't it? Because you noticed even in the North game, there was a couple times where you would be yelling clock, and instinctively the players aren't ready for that yet.
Right.
Probably not even thinking about it, especially if it's a late clock situation, you're yelling, they're looking around. It happened a couple times,
Yeah.
and we didn't get the shot off.
Yeah, well, it definitely changes the style of game that you want to play. I mean, these guys are going from, like, we're going to work the basketball around, and like we're going to look for a decent shot versus settling for it. But you get
Or
against the
force,
shot
yeah,
clock,
don't
like
force.
all of a sudden you're settling. Because
Taking some
you don't
cruddy
want that, you don't
shots,
want
right.
that violation, right? But, in talking about some of the games we have coming up, like, settling and maybe getting a violation here and there is that's probably not gonna be a bad thing with some of the teams that we have coming in.
Don't need to be
to
throwing
play
them the
us.
ball.
Well,
Right.
we talk a lot about like little long shots, not great shots, but not bad shots. They lead to runouts, and we've got a couple teams coming that they play above the rim.
Yeah.
And runouts aren't gonna be good for us. So, we'll continue to talk about it the next couple of days, but, at the end of the day, like, if we get the looks and we get them early out of our offensive sets, we'll be okay. Like, the shot clock doesn't affect
Shouldn't
us.
affect
What affects us is when there's an out of bounds or there's a foul, and all of a
Late
sudden
in the clock.
we're in the middle of a shot clock, we're at the end.
Yeah.
It's just
Gotta
getting the
rush
guys to
something up.
refocus, to
Yeah.
get back into a set, but we're not gonna have time to set it up.
Run
We
the
have to
full-
go, like, we have to go from where we're at. And it just kind of comes down to playing in the experience.
Absolutely.
We can get through Christmas break, we're gonna be fine.
Right.
And that's kind of what, as a coach, that's kind of what I'm pushing to. Like, obviously, we want to go into every game as if we want to win, but at the same time,
Gotta
getting
get
us-
better for when it really
getting us
counts.
through the Christmas break is kind of where I'm thinking.
So the growth.
And, so you got some home games.
Mhm.
Would be nice here before Christmas break to really, it's nice to be at home.
For sure.
Coming up Friday, Vermillion, 7 o'clock, I think we were
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then I think you turn around on Saturday at East, like boys and girls, I
Yep,
think.
boys and girls.
So it's like an all-day thing probably.
Yeah, so.
Probably like right after lunch till about 5, 6.
And then Tuesday again, you're at
And
home.
then Tuesday, we're at home again against Scott, so.
So those are perfect 3 good chances to come check you guys out. See if you guys are listening to coach or not.
Yeah,
We'll
so-
find out. Yeah.
Listen, we're super excited. We're 0-2, but the guys, they continue to work hard in practice. They're doing what we're asking. You know, I get excited when I walk in the gym at 3:30 and, you know, and Trey's got these guys, and they all show up. But
Doing skills.
he's doing skill stuff with them. You know, it's not something that we put on the schedule. It's not mandatory, but it's just awesome to see that. You know, I walk in at 3:30 and everybody's in the gym, right? That only makes us better. Like, as far as like the attitude and the work ethic, just overall the team, like we have it. Now it's a matter of like continuing to work to gel to put that together, and we're gonna beat some teams that we're not supposed to beat. I'm gonna tell you that.
For sure.
I'm gonna
And
tell
that's
you
the
that.
exciting part.
Yeah,
Right.
and the teams that we're supposed to beat, we will. Like I'm not worried about where we're at right now. I'll be
Well, I would
perfectly
say
honest.
that with the first two games, I mean, you were in it at any given point, especially at fourth quarter within striking difference. I see that in just those little things, but, you know, the free throws, the finishing, the smart, the shot clock
Sure.
stuff.
And
so-
getting minutes on the floor with each other.
Yeah.
In crunch situations.
And
You
plus what?
realize who's who.
Two freshmen getting
Two
quite
freshmen,
a lot of playing minutes, and then
Right.
even the sophomore Blackhawk
Yeah,
getting a lot of
Preston.
minutes. So, I mean, with Preston playing last year, but what Painter and Ahmed, you know, I mean,
It's not easy to get thrown in right away.
that's huge. 8th grade or
Big
varsity
difference.
basketball, you
Yeah,
know. But you know what? I
absolutely.
think, you know, Painter really holds his own too, though. You know, especially again, he had
Never even gets his feet off the floor. Yeah. Keep an eye.
Yeah.
You know, he does. He
Yeah,
does
But
a
you know,
good
you
job.
can see that, you know, he's definitely has some good background in basketball, and so, were you guys part of like the
Redbirds.
Redbirds basketball club growing up? Yeah, he was your coach? Oh, you make you run a lot probably,
A
right?
lot. To death.
Well, and I say, because we got our tournament coming up here with the Booster Club, and it's in February, and, you definitely played for it if you were on his team back in the day, and
Yep.
so, definitely like to get that in there, and, we do it for a fundraiser. I know you guys just had a big fundraiser. How many bags of salt did you carry? Could you even count? I mean, are you, you sore?
Too many.
Because I know I got 20 bags, and them guys at that point, it was about 4 o'clock, and they looked pretty,
They couldn't even lift their shoulders.
they were pretty tired of it.
And that was a long day for us. We had guys
You do the
going
K2.
all
Yeah,
different
skills,
ways.
yeah.
We had the K2 league that we have at the middle school on Sundays too. So we had Tim was kind of split. You know, we had some guys who had obligations as far as work
Okay.
goes. We were at the middle school. We had guys out all over the place delivering salt. After we were done with the K2 league, like there was a form that got missed. So me and the guys who worked the K2 league, we jumped in vehicles and we went and delivered salt. So,
Right.
again, it goes back to the whole work ethic. Like, I don't worry about these guys are ready to go at a moment's notice, and so I can't say enough about these guys and their work ethic. We are the Cardinals, and we call ourselves the Dirty Birds.
Dirty Birds.
But we talk about having dogs on the team all the time.
All the
right?
time.
And I tell you, Adam is like, he's the dog of the team. Like, his defense kind of gets everybody going, and they feed off of him. But, Adam, he's got a tough assignment, man. He's literally going to draw the team's best player, like every night out, and he does it without complaining ever. Like, he does it
That's a
without
compliment
complaining.
though, Adam, too. You know what? You're not, hey, we count on you every night. You got you 1v1 right there.
Every team
Every
needs a
team,
guy.
Yeah.
It needs that,
Can't
that
go
needs that
without
dog. It needs that dog.
It's like you You be that guy.
Yeah, maybe not on the basketball court. I'm not gonna lie to you. Maybe not on that basketball court.
Well, guys, I'm looking forward to watching some
Yeah,
games
some
here
home
coming
games
up.
coming up.
Good
Everybody
luck.
come up, show up,
Keep
show
working
out.
hard, believe in your coach. I think you guys will do good things. Thanks a lot.
for- yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
guys.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Hawkeye. Thanks, Adam.
All right.